History remembers moments of extraordinary strength, skill, and determination. True greatness is forged by those who fulfill their destiny.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo, and our Spa Baby race for Saturday, August the 20th. Race number 7 kicks off the 50-cent late pick 5. We're going 6.5 furlongs. It's a maiden special weight, and let's take a look at this field. And Nicole, isn't this what Spa Babies is all about? Well-bred horses, gigantic auction prices, horses with all sorts of potential, and even with all that, there's a horse in here with the buzz. The 5 Echo again, 9-5 on the morning line for Steve Asmussen. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, and I mean, why not? The Asmussen barn having a very good summer with its 2-year-olds at Saratoga and a number of other tracks. And Gunrunner, the sire, just red hot with his first 2 crops of racing age with his current 3-year-olds and current 2-year-olds.
Well, speaking of red-hot sires, none hotter the last couple of years than Into Mischief, who stands at Spendthrift and is the sire of the number 8 Classic Legacy. Let's take this field in post-position order, beginning with the number 1, Expected Value. This is a colt by Flatter. Flavian Pratt takes the mount, a $180,000 weanling. But look at the speed in this pedigree. The dam was a juvenile debut winner and a stakes-winning sprinter on the main track. So I would expect some speed, but he had better break from the inside post.
Absolutely. And, you know, I do like that Pratt is on this horse for debut. He's been a terrific addition to an already very deep Saratoga rider colony this summer. I've seen him work out some very good trips from the rail or down inside on inexperienced horses. Really seems to be a rider that can give these young horses confidence when they're in a spot like that. I like that Expected Value has a couple of good works, some nice steady works, including a couple of good recent 5 furlong works to put some foundation into him coming into debut. That's really been an important thing on this Saratoga dirt track this summer.
Trainer Bill Mott has 2 first-time starters in this race, beginning with the number 2, Good News Rocket. And Nicole, you were on it at the very beginning of the meet. You were going to dispel the myth that Bill Mott can't train a first-time starter. You've done very well with him. And take a look at this one, a $700,000 March 2-year-old in training out of a dam that throws nothing but versatile and classy runners.
Absolutely. I mean, Sue's Good News. What else can you say? Grade 1 winner, tis Ms. Sue. Bulletin, who won the first edition of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. Obviously, a very fast horse. Production on a number of surfaces from this mare. Run Happy is very interesting to me because he was a horse who maybe could have gone longer. I believe had tieback surgery during his career that, kind of limited how far he could go. Some of his runners are running well around 2 turns. They're very fast, not necessarily precocious. Precocity and speed don't always go hand in hand. But, the Bill Mott barn, as we've discussed throughout the summer on Spa Babies, they've really come in with a number of good, well-met horses this summer.
Trainer Todd Pletcher conditions our next 2 entrants, the 3 Summon Your Courage, the 4 Bat Flip, and they're the only horses in the race with experience. And that is a big edge often in these races. Summon Your Courage retains the services of Louis Saez and won't be getting blinkers for the first time. I thought this colt ran well at Churchill Downs 2 starts back behind Mo Strike, who came back to win the Sanford. Last time out, I thought he was a little dull from the gate. Maybe the blinkers will help infuse a little bit of speed.
I think the blinkers will help sharpen him up, and I think he's going to benefit from having a race over this surface. As we keep talking about, as we just talked about, with horses' work tabs and experience, this is a deeper, demanding main track at Saratoga this year, and I think, it's a tall task for some of the first-time starters. I like that this horse, not only has the foundation of 3 starts, but has the foundation of a start over this track when, Beyer-wise, he really didn't regress from his 2 on-the-board finishes at Churchill. Churchill, where he faced nice horses, finished behind Owen's Leap, who came back to be stakes placed in the Bashford Manor on debut. And then, as you mentioned, came out of Mo Strikes maiden at Churchill Downs, where the third place finisher, Disarm, was a very impressive winner on Spa Babies this summer for Steve Asmussen.
Number 4 is Backflip. He's the uncoupled stablemate of Summon Your Courage, and I think, like Summon Your Courage, he's going to benefit from his prior Saratoga experience. A $350,000 yearling by the good young sire, Good Magic, from a very prolific family of horses that might want to go a little bit longer. This horse seemed very green in his debut, but past some tired horses in the stretch. It's the kind of debut a colt can build on.
Absolutely. A horse can build on that sort of run and can do so at, a value. We're seeing 6-1 on the morning line here. And not only was he green and past good horses, late in his debut, but that's also a race that's coming back as a key maiden, as Bourbon Bash, who was second, came back to win impressively for Wayne Lucas. And Good Magic, a 2-year-old champion himself, his first crop really starting to come alive at this stage of the summer. Just got on the board with the Sorrento winner last weekend at Del Mar.
The 5 Echo again is 9-5 on our colleague David Aragona's morning line, and I have a feeling he's going to take a lot of money. He's by Gun Runner, 21% with juvenile debut runners. The dam was fleet and precocious, a multiple stakes place dirt sprinter. She has thrown some quality horses. And Echo again, to me, is the kind of horse that you want to look at Mike Welsh's daily workout report on DRF.com, because it looks like this colt's kept company with the aforementioned Disarm, who won earlier this meet with an 86 buyer.
Yeah, Disarm, I think, one of the more impressive 2-year-old winners we've seen this summer at Saratoga. So definitely check out those workout reports produced by our colleague Mike Welsh and his team on the ground on both the main and training tracks every morning in Saratoga throughout the meet. So much valuable information to the individual workout patterns of horses, and not just those numbers on the work tab, but how they accomplished it as well. And this colt, another one looking to be a strong runner for that Gun Runner over a Tapit Mare Cross that's been so successful already at this early stage for Winchell Thoroughbreds, which campaigned both leading sires and maintains a major interest in them.
The great Shug McGahee trains our next 2 entrants, the 6 Spinzar, the 7 Game Change. Let's start with Spinzar, a gray colt by the legendary Tapit, a $450,000 yearling. A lot of distance in this pedigree. The dam was stakes placed routing. The second dam was Champion Fleet Indian. This Tapit over Medaglia d'Oro Nick has been pretty good lately with horses like Coinage and Tapit to Win, although those horses might be slightly better on turf and synthetic. I'm really curious to see what we get out of this colt, Nicole, because I think he might have the ability to win first time out. The distance might be a little sharp.
A little bit. That's my first impression as well. Tapit, we know him as the modern king of the Belmont Stakes in terms of sire records, but first came to prominence as a good 2-year-old sire, was the leading freshman sire of his class, sire of 2-year-old champions Stardom Bound and Hanson, both of whom could win both going short and long in their championship campaigns. I like what you mentioned about this Nick that this horse is bred on, because Coinage and some others bred on that cross, very good 2-year-olds.
McGahee's other runner in here, the number 7 Game Change, is a colt by Candy Ride, who sold for only $850,000, and why not? The dam is a full sister to El Padrino, a graded stakes winner. The dam's a half sister to Verrazano, a multiple grade 1 stakes winner. It's just a productive family, and like Spinzar, this horse shows a long string of quality workouts and should have enough fitness for the debut.
Yeah, and this is just a fantastic family. It's the family of Champion Queena. It's full of grade 1 winners on a number of surfaces. I'd actually be very interested to see this horse on turf down the line. But, I've said that about a couple of Shug McGahee's 2-year-olds this meet, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame and we're not. Some of his horses just really seem to be, coming out, and they're well meant, and they're firing at this meet, even though you look at them and say, well, maybe more distance, maybe a different surface. So I'm learning not to rule them out.
The only way I'm getting into the Hall of Fame is by paying the admission fee, and I plan on doing so on Saturday. The 8 is Classic Legacy. This is a son of Into Mischief, of course, standing at Spendthrift. And look at this pedigree. All he is a half-brother to Art Collector, a Grade 1 stakes winner, and one of the better older horses in the country currently. The Dama Stakes winning router, Vision and Verse placed in the Belmont Stakes way back in the day. Another horse that might appreciate a little more distance if you just look at the female family, but Into Mischief infuses speed in a pedigree.
Absolutely. And Into Mischief having another outstanding season with his 2-year-olds. And why not? We're starting to hit some of these crops of 2-year-olds that were bred as Into Mischief really rose to prominence. His stud fee went up. The books of mares he was attracting began to rise in quality. So Into Mischief really poised to have a number of continued strong years at Spendthrift Farm. This a perfect example. Distorted Legacy, a very good mare for Bruce Lunsford going to his court. And, I like this one's potential to work out a good trip from the outside here.
Love this Spa Baby race on Saturday to kick off the 50-cent late pick 5. You've got a little bit of everything. Top connections, big auction prices, huge pedigrees. Most importantly, who do you got?
I am taking a swing with Classic Legacy. As I said, just when I looked at this field, there are some horses who are going to have to get away from the rail well. There should be a little bit of speed, but I don't think this is the sort of race where we're going to see them going 22 and change early. I think Classic Legacy, who does look like a horse who might want to go longer in the future, might just be able to settle into a beautiful stride from that outside post and make a good move turning for home, and prevail for Into Mischief, who we know can get an outstanding 2-year-old. But gosh, this is a deep race. I'm going to suggest you watch the board, watch these horses in the paddock before what we'll expect to be a big crowd on Saturday for Alabama Day, and kind of get information up until the last minute.
I won't be surprised at all if Echo again takes money from the start, goes off at even money, and puts on a show for Steve Asmussen. But I will search for a little bit more value with Spinzar, the son of Tappet, for Shug McGahee. I have a feeling this horse might want to go a little bit longer, but I'm expecting him to kick a bit in the lane. I have to use Echo again, and Selling Your Courage might actually go off a playable price for an experienced Todd Pletcher runner, 9-2 on the morning line. It's a sensational race, friends, and it's your Spa Baby race for Saturday, August the 20th. Our coverage all meet long, presented by Spendthrift. Good luck.